In my life, there's two franchises that help me define who I am right now. Infamous and Sly. Both these games helped me fall in love with gaming on two different generations, and both these games are developed by Sucker Punch. You might have heard of them, but we'll come back to that. Infamous is a game that came out in 2009 on the PS3. The game allowed you to be a superhero of sorts and had comic book cutscenes. I mean, it sounds simple and explained like that, but Infamous holds a special place in my heart. It being one of the first next-gen games I actually played, and it really showcased the PS3's power. I mean, now it's aged, good lord, but shit, back then this game looked fantastic. To give a quick synopsis on the story of the first Infamous game, you're a bike courier and you're delivering a package when the package explodes and wipes out the city. The city is then quarantined from the rest of the country and the city begins to fall apart. Villains start coming out of the cracks and you gotta move trains, slide on rails, and I don't know, zap people to fucking be the greatest superhero. But even that sounds simple from how I could actually explain it. Infamous 1 for me started a whole generation and era of superhero games that weren't conventional like the regular ones we had in the early 2000s. So it wasn't like Spider-Man or like Superman. In this game, you had a whole city to yourself and you could do whatever the hell you wanted. Shit was amazing. The game gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. You know, the comic book cutscenes and the parkour. Infamous had it all. The way the city reacts to your character and the way your decisions actually mattered, the game created this fantastic feeling of having immense power and choosing what you wanted to do with it. To me, Infamous truly felt like the beginning of a new era of games, and for a moment it definitely was. Games like Prototype or Saints Row 4 showcased how superpowers could be used in a sandbox game. So then, why the hell did Sony kinda let it go? I think saying Sony let it go is kind of harsh because Infamous went on to have 2 extra games and 2 standalone DLCs, and it became a staple in Sony's exclusive catalogue. But since 2015, we haven't really heard anything about Infamous. After the first Light DLC, Infamous kind of just fades into obscurity. And that's not because Infamous is a bad game. I mean, it's definitely not. So that's why I'm confused on why Sony has kind of let it go. Infamous Second Son still stands among some next-gen games as one of the best looking games ever, and it ushered in the PS4, showcasing the console's power. And with the PS5 almost being 2 years into its release, it does kind of feel saddening that there's no Infamous game to really showcase what the PS5 can do. And that's the purpose of this video. I mean, to me, Sucker Punch is the best at showcasing how much power actually lies within a console. Like, every game they release to me showcases how powerful a console actually is. I mean, Second Son still looks amazing. I mean, look at it. God damn, this game looks so, ooh, voila. Ooh. Sucker Punch is still one of the greatest developers we've seen in recent history, and the latest piece of work can back that up. Ghost of Tsushima capped off the PS4's generation with a bang. Its graphical capabilities, the story and the style of the game are just beautiful, and I feel like we can see some of Infamous's DNA within there. As well as Infamous's DNA, I feel like we can also see some of Sly Cooper's. When thinking about Sony's original mascots, some faces come to mind: Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, but a more forgotten legend, Sly Cooper. The Sly trilogy was developed by Sucker Punch and felt like a Metal Gear game, albeit with talking animals, but yo, the mix of espionage with stylized comic-like cutscenes and a musical score that, oof, 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 yo, the game really encapsulates the feeling of being a thief and performing a heist. These games still have the best minigames to date and hold up great for the time they were made in. So, just like Infamous, I gotta ask, where did Sly go? I think this topic can be a lot more emotional for anybody that grew up on either Jak and Daxter or Sly Cooper, because it seems Sony's tonal shift has made us lose some of our mascots from the early 2000s. But with the success of Ratchet and Clank, I think we could genuinely see these games make a return. This whole video is actually just me begging for, like, you know, OG exclusives to come back to the console, you know, because I miss all these old exclusives, you know, Infamous, Sly Cooper, Jak and Daxter. There's others that I'm forgetting because I'm going off the dome right now. But, you know, I miss a whole lot of these older games that used to actually, you know, games used to actually be released. But alas, a man can dream. when you think about Sony's games and we think about these two IPs, in my opinion, that really revolutionized two consoles, you know, that being the PS2 and the PS3, I wonder if we'd ever see these games come back. Because it is getting monotonous seeing the same open world game be released for the 19th time, or seeing The Last of Us get a remake, which it does not need. I think if Sucker Punch released Infamous or Sly again, we'd see the birth of a new era again, because it'd be a whole new type of game. But again, a man can dream. Whilst doing some research, there's been some mention of a new Infamous game on Reddit posts, and the same with Sly, but at this point it's all speculation, and these Reddit posts have been, you know, really close to begging, and I understand because I'm begging right now as I make this video. So I hope at the next Real State of Play we get to see the return of two of Sucker Punch's greatest IPs, as well as Jak and Daxter, and you know, any Sony OGs. But that's just me. Expect a video on the State of Play if it does drop. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy yourself. Whoa, enjoy yourself? What am I talking about? I hope you're cool. I hope you stay safe. That's me. That's Sage. I'm out.